Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, June 19th, almost at the end of the week. And as you know, later today after 5 p.m., gyms are allowed to open back up to have indoor classes, which will happen for us first time tomorrow. But if you're still at home, at the gym and at home today, we are doing a workout created by Daniel and Holden together called Juneteenth. If you're not aware of what Juneteenth is, I believe it's the oldest celebrated holiday or national holiday commemorating the ending of slavery, which I think was back in the 1860s. So to learn a little bit more about the holiday, feel free to Google it. That's what we are commemorating today. So the workout, Juneteenth, is not meant to be easy. 6 rounds, starts off with 19 burpees, 11 thrusters, 63 double unders. That's what you have for 6 rounds. 19 burpees, 11 thrusters, 63 double unders, with a buyout of 65 calories on the bike or on the rower if you have one at home. I know you may not have either, but if you have one or the other at home, we are buying out at the end of those 6 rounds with 65 calories on your piece of cardio equipment. Now, fitness today is going 95-65 on the barbell for your thrusters. Performance and open is an even playing field at 115-75. Now, if you're doing this at home, and if you're watching this, I mean, chances are you are doing this at home, and you don't have a barbell or a piece of cardio equipment. We'll talk through both of those scaling options real quick. If you have dumbbells at home, you are going to use 2 of them. Just use the weight that you have at home for your thrusters, which one on each side in the front rack position, squat, press it up. If you've got a backpack at home, you can do the exact same thing. And if you don't have a cardio piece of equipment at home, like a rower, a bike, the way that this is written, instead, for your buyout, you're going to do a 650-meter run with your odd object or one dumbbell just on your shoulder, and you're going to run with it for 650 meters. Of course, that might be, tough to measure out in your neighborhood at home, but just do your best and take a guess. So that's what we have for the MetCon today. We'll talk a couple pieces of strategy and tips, and then we'll get into the warm-up. Tips for this MetCon, Juneteenth. It's going to be a big bag of suck whenever the burpees are going to be considered your rest. So starting off with your burpees, all 6 rounds, we should not be trying to break records there. That's where we need to bring the breathing back down before we get under the barbell, and both for fitness, performance, and open today, with the volume that we have, 11 reps, it makes it just enough to make you uncomfortable and think about, well, should I push it for an unbroken set every time and just whack myself, or should I split it up into maybe like a 6 and 5? That's something that you're going to have to decide on your own. I would recommend right out of the gate breaking that up into like 2 sets. So maybe like a set of 6, a set of 5, and I would try to ride that out the whole way through the workout, all 6 rounds. I would not try to be a hero from the first round and on. 63 double unders. Of course, if you are doing single unders in place of those today, we'll just multiply those by 2 every round. Again, just a place for us to try to breathe a little bit easier than we did under the barbell. The barbell is going to be the worst part of this whole thing. I think if you're doing this MetCon at home today, I think you probably already know that. But again, all the other pieces of this MetCon, we're just going to do our best to try to keep our breathing down so we're as fresh as possible, or fresh as we possibly can be for the barbell. And then, of course, again, on the bike or your piece of cardio equipment or your run at the end, just gut it out and finish this dang thing. So that's tips that I've got for you. If you're going to be doing dumbbell thrusters in place of barbell, or you're using a backpack, I would challenge you to try to go unbroken every set on your thrusters, so you don't have to set that thing back down. depending on what weights you're using. It's just going to have a little different feel for you in that front rack position where it's not bearing down in your chest as much as the barbell is. Should be a little bit easier for you to freely move those things. And after that, I think that's it. So tips. Grind out the burpees and don't get too hot too early. Don't get hot at any point. You should be able to breathe throughout those from round 1 to round 6. Thrusters, just gut it out. I would recommend maybe a set of 6 and 5 the whole way through. I probably would not do an unbroken set of thrusters at any point in this workout, just because I don't want to bury myself in too big of a hole unless I'm using dumbbells today. Double unders. I don't mind you trying to hit all 63 of them in a row, but for most of us, we should probably think about breaking that up into maybe 2-3 sets as well. So there we have it. Let's warm up. Okay, so for your warm-up, we're going to do a 400-meter run to start, okay? Just nice and easy, jog, get the blood flowing. When you come back from that 400-meter run, we're going to go into a little chipper-style warm-up. It's going to start with 50 jumping jacks, okay? Now, on these jumping jacks, 50 jumping jacks, every 10 reps, I want you to stop and give me a burpee, okay? So in total, you do 50 jumping jacks and 5 burpees throughout that whole set, okay? So 50 jumping jacks, a burpee every 10 jumping jacks. From there, we're going to move on to 30 air squats. Every 10 reps there, I want you to stop what you're doing and give me 1 reverse burpee. I've demoed those in here on the home recordings before, so you should have a good idea of what I'm looking for there. But 30 air squats, every 10 reps, stop and give me 1 reverse burpee. At the end of that, the last set here, or the last exercise, we're going to do 10 leg blaster complexes. Daniel used this or made it up in a MetCon about a week or 2 ago, and I want you to do 10 of them here, which is a jumping lunge, and a jumping air squat, okay? So we'll do 10 of those. Those 3 movements all put together, jumping lunge, jumping air squat, that's 1 rep. I want 10 of them. No rules here on stopping at a certain number of reps and doing something else. I just want you to go all 10 until we finish them. So again, 50 jumping jacks with 1 burpee every 10 reps, 30 air squats with 1 reverse burpee every 10 reps, and then finish off with 10 leg blaster complexes. Go. Now for a little bit of stretching. From a high plank position, top of a push-up, I want you to give me 10 Spider-Man lunges. And then after those 10 Spider-Man lunges, so 5 going on each leg for a total of 10, I want you to lay down on the ground with your chest on the floor. You're going to bring your arms out wide. I want you to kick your left leg around the back side to open up your shoulder, your chest on the right side. I want you to hang there for maybe about 2 or 3 seconds, and then I want you to kick the right leg out to the outstretched left arm. So we can do the same thing on the other side. I'm looking for 10 of those back and forth after your 10 Spider-Man lunges. Go. Once you're done with those chest opener stretches, I want you to press up into a pike position. You're going to stretch out your calves while you're in that pike position. So pedal those feet back and forth, drive your heels down towards the ground. After you've rocked back and forth on each side, maybe, 5 to 10 times, I want you to press forward, pushing your hips into the ground and wringing out those washboard abs in a cobra position. So hands will be on the ground, your hips will be pressed towards the floor, and you'll be peeling back. So that's what I want you to spend the next, 30 seconds to a minute doing. Our last 2 stretches are going to be done from your knees. First one is going to be a hamstring stretch. You're going to have your left knee down on the ground, your right leg out in front of you, so heel will be on the ground, toes will be pointed up in the air. Just hinge forward and stretch out that hamstring on the right side for about 30 seconds. Then I want you to do the same thing with a pigeon stretch on that right leg as well. After that pigeon stretch is done, we're going to switch it to the other side. Left leg will go out in front for a hamstring stretch for 30 seconds, and then we'll go into a pigeon stretch from there. That's where we're going to finish off the stretching, so go ahead and hit each of those. After that, it's time to load up this barbell. Get your jump rope ready. Warm up a little bit with both pieces of equipment there. and then we're just going to dive right into the MetCon. So again, to recap, it's called Juneteenth, commemorating the national holiday today. It's 6 rounds, starting with 19 burpees, which should be a nice, easy pace. 11 thrusters, which I want you to be smart about right from the get-go, because the weights are just slightly heavy today, and the volume, the 11 reps, is just weird enough to make you want to toe the line, but you might want to think twice about it. After that, we've got 63 double unders, or multiplied by 2 for single unders. And then after those 6 rounds are done, we have a buyout of either 65 calories on the bike, the rower, or a 650-meter run with an odd object or a dumbbell, whatever you have, on your shoulder. That is all we have today, is that MetCon. It's going to be a behemoth of a MetCon, so we will have no accessory work, no strength piece. That's where we're going to call it a day from there. So good luck, have fun. I'll have a couple cool-down stretches here for you guys to complete once you are done this MetCon, so come on back here once you are done. 3 quick stretches in the cool down here after that MetCon is complete. First one, you're going to lay your chest high. You're going to lay your chest down on the floor. The neighbor boy's outside, so he wants to go out there and play baseball with him. All right. All right. He plays catcher for the neighbors next door when they're playing baseball behind the fence. And if anything gets into our yard, he pretty much destroys it. But 3 stretches in your cool down. First one's going to be a chest opener stretch that we did in the warm-up. Lay your chest down on the ground, right arm out flat beside you, and kick the other leg around the back to meet it. We're going to go 30 seconds on the right, 30 seconds on the left. From there, you're going to roll over, lay on your back, bring your right knee up into your chest, and then pull it across your body for a nice stretch into your lower back and the outside part of your hip and into your butt. 30 seconds on the right, 30 seconds on the left. When we're finished, last stretch we're going to do, we're just going to sit up straight with your feet out in front of you. You're going to hinge forward and do the best that you can. And if you can't do this with just your hands, I recommend you grab a band or a towel where you can get into this position, deep enough into this position. I want you to try to get your fingers around the tops of your toes. So as you're hinging forward and you're stretching out your lower back, your hamstrings, I want you to try to push those toes back or pull them towards you so that we can stretch out our calves and behind your kneecaps at the exact same time. So we'll spend maybe, about 30 seconds there, relax for a second, and then let's go back down in for another 30 seconds to finish. After those 3 stretches are done, enjoy the rest of your Juneteenth.